Can you see me? Hear me?
1 second. 1 second. 1 second. Yep. Yeah. Can you see me? I can see you.
Right. Am I audible?
Yes. You're audible, Robin.
Okay. So we'll start right away. Privileged to
Okay.
have with me Mr. Harish Bijur, brand guru and a man with vast corporate experience. Thank you for taking time out and speaking to me at the Golfing Hub, sir. So we'll start with a very long-standing problem that the Indian golf industry has faced is why are sponsorships such a big problem for golf in India?
Okay. See, golf is certainly a global sport. I call it a sport. And if you really look at it, I think sponsorship, particularly in the Indian context, is difficult because golf is considered to be a very, very niche sport. Okay. 3 years ago, I did a study on the golfing industry for a client of mine in golf, an overseas client of mine in golf, trying to understand how this game can pan out, how the sport can really pan out. There is a fair bit of investment in this country on golf, but in terms of interest, the interest is a nano percentage interest as far as overall sport is concerned. If I draw an outer circle, a big outer circle of all sport, it's occupied by cricket. And cricket is occupied by a percentile of 830. Then I draw an inner circle and in comes, hockey somewhere, football somewhere. I keep drawing smaller circles. The 17th smallest circle is golf. And if cricket is 830, golf is 1.7. And that is the reason why mass sponsorships don't emanate for golf. Now, niche sponsorships could come for golf, but these niche sponsorships are also looking for a size of audience which is hopefully large enough for them. Now that optimum size audience is not found by marketers in this country, and therefore it's a double whammy for golf. Golfers love it, but people watching it, not enough, and that is a key problem. One other problem I want to define before we go to your next question is, I think it's the industry of golf, again, inverted commas, which must redefine who your stakeholders are. I've worked in golf for the last 17 years, and every year I talk about it at some fora or the other. I keep saying that there are several stakeholders. One is owners of golf courses. Two is golf captains and secretaries, very passionate folk like you, not I. I don't play golf as yet. Governments and ministries interested in tourism, because there's something called golf tourism, right? And India is a cheap golf destination. Tour operators who can make a huge amount of money from golf. Golfers themselves, their family ecosystems. Golf is a passion. There is the golf widow and the golf widower, hopefully. People living around golf courses. Oh, they are your stakeholders as well. You must take care of them. Cities in which golf courses are located, they are your stakeholders. And citizens who live in the entire city, they are your stakeholders as well. Golf does not touch too many people. You touch golf courses, golf captains, secretaries, but you don't touch much beyond. So you need to start touching a larger stakeholder base.
So now that you kind of defined the problems, how do you kind of? I'll come to my next question: is how do you make golf a mass sport?
Okay, there are many things. For instance, there is this mindset that says that golf requires money to play. Okay, it's a rich man's game. Can you change that? Can you look at ensuring that golf can actually enter into schools, and golf can actually, you can have small little putting areas in schools where, people can start and not spend too much money. Golf takes a lot of time. This is the second complaint I get when I talk about golf. Can you ensure that the format of golf can be rejigged? Because please understand, once upon a time we used to watch 5-day cricket. Then we went into 1-day cricket. And then we went into a 90-minute cricket. Okay. And tomorrow, I don't know if we're going to have instant 30-minute cricket. So, rejigging that. golf is a pleasure of leisure. Now that's good. Maybe hold on to it. Really looking about golf as something which only old people play, older people play. Make golf young. Yeah, some of our best names in golf are very young, but the largest numbers of people who play golf are possibly of an age profile which is different. Excellent. That age profile is very important for us to have, but we need to get golf thinking young. Can we do that?
But coming back to the same problem again, Mr. Bijur, you've been a part of the corporate setup for a very long time. Corporate golf is big in India. Almost every CEO of a big company connects on the golf course. They are aware of how it works. But considering, and this is from the talking from the other side of the table, that if I am, say, the CEO of the PGTI, the professional body in India, if I approach, say, the Tatas, well, Tatas are an umbrella sponsor of PGTI or somebody else, for sponsoring a golf tournament, it's like banging your head on the wall. Despite the
Yes,
fact that the CEO of that company could well be, playing 5 days a week. Why do you see this
absolutely.
problem? Is it again that niche audience that you're not reaching out to enough people to promote your brand?
Robin, golf is certainly the game of the corporate, and golf is also the game of the bureaucrat in n numbers of ways. You have two types of people playing golf, corporate and the bureaucrat, and it's supposed to be a networking arena, etc., etc. People love to use it as a networking arena. They use it, but contributing back to it, I don't think they're too keen because they do see there to be a disadvantage. And the
Mm-hmm.
disadvantage is eyeballs. Eyeballs. See, then again, I'm going back to cricket. I do work with cricket in IPL, for instance, just as I do work with golf, not so much in India, but outside. If 100 people watch cricket on television, how many watch cricket on the field? Three. Okay. And how many of those 100 people who watch cricket are actually playing the game personally? 0.02. Okay. So, hey, listen, cricket has overcome it. Golf is similar. If 100 watch golf on TV, possibly it's 0.0001% of them who actually plays physically. Therefore, it's wrong to say that it's only a game that you play can be popularized. You can actually popularize a game which you don't ever play. Like cricket is a classic example. So I think it's important to jump out of this niche mindset, do something dramatic, do something big. I don't think people in golf want to invest in this. People in golf want to invest in tournaments. People in golf don't want in India, only India, okay? And I'm accusing India. They don't want to invest in building a business plan for golf in India. Tell me, when was the last time a business plan was put for golf in India? And believe it or not, all those stakeholders I listed to you, that can be addressed. I have done business plans for golf in Japan, in Italy, in two prefectures. Italy and golf and two prefectures investing big money in putting a business plan for golf and to build golf tourism eventually. So if you really look at it, I think India, particularly golf, we don't invest in the right things. And I think it's time now to invest in building a 5-year business plan for golf in India.
If, Mr. Bijur, if you were to ask to draw up a business plan for golf in India in quickly in 2 or 3 points, what would your plan be?
Now, I'll need to send you a bill after this if I really talk about it. But extremely important is I would like to make golf inclusive. Golf is a bit too exclusive at this point of time. A purist golfer will balk at this thought and he will say, what in tarnation are you talking about? Okay. But the point is this, if golf can be used as a sport of the elite and the niche, or golf can be used and viewed as a business opportunity. If you want to use it as a business opportunity, you need a business plan. And the business plan must be one which makes golf inclusive for a larger number of people than it is today. Golf is just too exclusive as of today. And if golf is played by 81,930 people in India, okay, take that number, 81,930 people who own, something or the other, a piece of equipment to play golf, 81,930 divided by 1.3 billion multiplied into 100 is 0.0000000001% of the total audience. That itself tells you the straight thing. It's a 8 decimal places, 1%. So it's extremely important to make golf more mass if you want money into golf, if you want interest into golf, if you want viewership into golf. And that's the simple line. Make golf much more inclusive than it is today. Golf has become a little too exclusive.
Mr. Bijur, if we are to kind of dispel the notion that it's happening but very slowly, that golf is becoming inclusive, like in Delhi, if you want to walk into the Qutub golf course, which is a public course, you can hit 50 balls, and if you include the green fee also, for 150, 200 rupees, which is not much. Probably you go to a mall and spend more on a burger. So how do we get this word out to the public that golf is not an expensive sport? You can, even clubs are on hire. You can go and learn the sport and maybe even take a half an hour coaching lesson, all within maybe 600, 700 rupees.
But Robin, when did this happen? It's happened recently, and it's not gone beyond it. 5 years ago, I addressed a golf conference in Gurgaon. I still remember, at one of the clubs. And I spoke about the fact that it's very, very important to make golf inclusive. Because if you don't make it inclusive, you will be made an outcast as far as the sport is concerned. Because, there are 4 modes of people. After these 5 years, I was told that after the conference that 6 centers were opened up with, golf, where fees were really very hardly anything, equipment was given on hire, school children were encouraged to come in. But this is all anecdotal. If you have to make golf what it must be much more detailed, much more broad spread. Moods, 4 moods. Every sport has a mood. Mood 1 is, I love it. Cricket has got that mood, okay? A fair bit of soccer, football has got that mood, okay? UFC has got that mood. I love it. Mood 2 is, ignore it, it exists, okay? Now, hey, listen, among the largest numbers of people in India, which is the mood for golf today? Is it mood 1 or mood 2? Mood 3. Mood 3 is shun it actively. Boycott it. Mood 4, go after it. It's so niche that we must go after it. It's like Occupy Wall Street. So what I'm saying is 4 moods for 4 different kinds of sports. Lacrosse has got mood 4. It's a game played by lazy rich people in the United Kingdom. So you literally have Occupy Wall Street version in the United Kingdom. They went and occupied the lacrosse grounds, which were huge and which were high real estate priced items. So 4 moods. My view, golf must earn for itself or invest in creating the I love golf kind of mindset. I think the golf has got everything in it. Golf is deceptively simple, as someone said it. I wonder whether it was Palmer or anyone. Deceptively simple, but extremely complicated. And I think the joy of golf can be understood only when somebody gets down and to the course and plays. And I think getting people to do that is a mass task. It's not an anecdotal task.
So, agreed that a lot of ground needs to be covered, but how do you see and visualize the situation of golf in India 5 years from now?
Okay, 5 years from now, simple answer, because I've just done a 5-year plan for a promoter, okay, and trying to say that how golf will look like in India, without the effort of the golfing fraternity in India. By the way, the golfing fraternity in India is the most intelligent, most savvy, and the most moneyed fraternity in this country. Intelligence, savvy, and money. All three things are there in the sport. But what's not there is all these three things combining and hitting the ground running with an active business plan to say in 5 years from now, we are going to be this way. So, short answer, my 5-year plan for this guy says that if the industry continues the same way, golf will grow by a factor of 2.6x in 5 years. Factor of 2.6x is 83,000 and all odd people multiplied into 2.6, which is nothing. What I'm talking about is that 83,000 and odd people multiplied into maybe a factor of 60. That should be the plan for golf. So golf is growing, will grow, is growing, but it mustn't be growing like this, it must be growing like this. And that is the missing element.
Do you think TV coverage, live TV coverage is not cheap in pro golf? But suppose if you were to make a beginning, will that make a difference in kind of catching the fancy of people who are interested in sport?
No, not yet. I would say, the temptation will be to do this first. Broadcasters will come to you and say that, this is a great way of promoting the sport and let's take it places. But believe it or not, this will not take you anywhere. What will take you somewhere is doing stuff on the ground. I think you should choose one city in India and make a pressure test for golf in that one city, where you will look at all the golf courses in that city. Private, public, hardly any. Governmental, let's say the ones that belong to the armed forces in this country. We have a large number of them. Bring all these together, the government golf courses, the private golf courses, create a collective and say that I'm going to choose Bengaluru as my pilot pressure test for golf. And if you do that, once you have done that, put all the inputs of a 5-year business plan into that city. And you can do it. And there are 16 different factors that I list in my typical business plan to say that this is how golf can go from 1, 2, 3, 4 to this kind of a place. So look at all those 16 elements, focus all the monies into this one city, get your sponsors, the biggest, get the Tatas, the Ambanis, the Birlas, get every big enterprise, the Adanis, to put in money and focus on one city. Do it for 2 years. Believe it or not. It's doable. And I've run pressure tests in Japan. Okay, I've run pressure tests in Italy. If you really look at it, you can grow phenomenally. But the point is, you can't do it in every city because you're going to be dissipating a large amount of money on a large number of places. Take a large amount of money, focus it on one city, give it 2 years, and you see how you develop golfing sentiment, and golfing temperament in the city that you focus.
Mr. Bijur, you're hard pressed for time. One last question for you. You get to interact with a lot of the corporate honchos. What is the perception of, say, the CEO of a big company? Is he willing to invest in a pro tournament, or is it what holds him back? Is it because golf, as you said, is not inclusive, it's exclusive? Is that the main reason what is holding back potential sponsors?
Yeah, as far as the pro tournament is concerned, most of the time tournament sponsorships work by networking, by the ability to say, I know this person and this person knows this person and this person knows. And that is called, knowing someone and getting something done. So much of the time, it's the corporate honcho doing a favor to the sport, favor to an individual by putting that money in. I don't think golf needs that kind of treatment. Golf is a sport in its own right, and it's something superior across the world. Golf must be a magnet that attracts money. Golf must not be going around to corporates with a begging bowl and saying that I need money to host a sponsorship tournament. I know people who run tournaments. I know the way they work the wires and the lines and the meetings, and they use their personal push to get money. That's not necessary. Very simply put, till golf gets the eyeballs, golf will not get the money. The eyeballs will dictate the money. And guess what? There's a disadvantage. Every corporate honcho is a golfer. And he, she, they know very clearly the size of audience for golf. So why would a guy who knows it all internally still put money behind something? So that's the disadvantage as well. Yep.
Right, Mr. Bijur,
So
thank
say
you very
bye.
much. Take care and stay safe.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Lovely
Bye.
meeting you. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.